It is time, everybody, for your Windy City Savage back live at it. Welcome, everybody, to the Windy City Productions. Go ahead and introduce yourself, co hosts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, the appointed man SG3. How y'all doing tonight? Let's go.
And with that, you already know, let's get into the Raw review tonight because tonight, Paul Heyman once again opened up Monday Night Raw out here to address some things that happened last week during a certain someone's open challenge. We already
Yeah.
know that open challenge that happened. So let's get into it. Paul Heyman comes out to open a Raw and he's here to sell. He's not here to sell you on a match that needs no hype. While he says that, the crowd does chant, Oba, Oba. And
Huh.
at that point, he says, Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm talking and have the mic, shut the hell up, please. He says the biggest rematch in WWE history will be at Clash of Italy. Oba is to be conquered
Mm.
by Brock Lesnar himself. And at that point, we cut to a montage. In that montage video, we have Brock Lesnar talking about. And by the way, this is a rare thing where Brock actually cuts a
Yep.
promo, even though it is on a video package. It is a rare thing. So we got Brock Lesnar talking about how he didn't have time. Like he says, sorry, Oba, that he didn't have time to congratulate him from beating his ass so bad, where he says he's done, he's retired, and he has nothing else left to lose, and made him basically leave his gloves and boots in the ring. But he says, you know what? I thought about it, and that doesn't sit well for me. Basically, the whole Hogan treatment that doesn't
Yep.
work for me, brother.
It doesn't work for me at all, brother.
So at that point, he says Brock could take an ass whooping, but he can't take it's an ass whooping by Oba family. So he says he's gonna say that Oba's gonna get his ass kicked by a retired humble beast who's gonna rule over Oba family himself. And at that point, we cut back to Paul Heyman. It says, good news, everyone watching has the chance to see history play out in real time. The
Mm.
bad news is everyone that worships Obafemi has to realize that they have awakened the beast, and that is Brock Lesnar, which means there's only one thing. And before you could say anything else, Oba comes out and says, you have awakened a beast. What do you think he has awoken in him?
After
What do you
four or
think?
fives.
Yeah, what do you think 4 F5s has awakened Obafemi? Don't worry, Paul, because at this point, Paul is nervous like he always is.
Mhm.
Don't worry, Paul. It's fine. He's not going to hurt him. He needs him alive and well to tell the tale to Brock. And at this one, he tells him, but I want you to tell him fast forward to his favorite part, and that is where he retires Lesnar for the second time. He says 4F5 seems personal to him. And in this final chapter, which he signs a contract on Paul Heyman, by the way.
Mhm.
And at this point, Paul says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because he has a contract on his fucking body getting signed by Obafemi. I mean, not going to lie, that guy is terrifying looking.
Mhm.
Oba says, deliver him this message. Last time he was trying to beat him. This time he wants to kill him. And at that point, he signs the contract, leaves it to Paul, terrified, and walks away. And with that, we do have it official. Oba versus Brock, a retired Brock, by the way, at Clash at Italy. So for as an opener, it was pretty decent.
It was different.
I mean, I'm not. I wasn't say like it was great. I wouldn't say it's bad either, but I also don't think it's the greatest thing. So it
I
was,
agree with you. Not the greatest, but it's different. It's not the vision. It's not the bloodline.
but we had to have this kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
not nothing different, man. That's the thing. It's just like
It's
I
just-
can't complain just because Obafemi gets my work, and I think he does great things on the
Mhm.
mic. But it's also not, anything different that a usual Monday Night Raw opener is. About 20, 30 minutes of wasted
Yeah.
promo time and no matches right away. But also, I can't complain because it is Obafemi. After that, we do have Penta that comes out doing this dance because he's up next. He's gonna face off Javon Evans on a one-on-one match for that IC title. And at this point, they go back and forth, these high flying men. to the point where Penta retains when OG goes for an OG cutter. He counters it with the backbreaker, then hits a Mexican destroyer and upsets Evan in the match. Afterwards, when Penta tries to go in and raise his hand, Evan is so upset that he takes his hands off and walks away from the ring, frustrated. So that being said, he's young. He's hungry. He wants the IC champion. He wants the title, really.
Yeah.
How do you see this? And do you see these are the seeds that are planted that maybe Javon Evans starts turning into the dark side a little bit?
I can see it, but I can also see the frustration of, in fact, a young, hungry lion that wants championship material, that wants to be, having the IC title and anything. And it's like so close, so far. So that could go other way. It could be either where he's hungry and start seeing him like trying to be basically beat the title line, you could call it, and then moving forward, or go heel. And I can see because New Day is no longer with WWE, I can see him say, you know what, I'll take over that role. I would like actually to see a heel Javon Evans. See if he kind of lowers down the oomph on his moveset, if you know what I mean.
Well, at that point, yes, a heel side would benefit him because we don't need any more high flyers at all right now doing their sets every single week. I like Javon Evans, but I just don't think that this just benefits him from doing this move sets every single week. Eventually, an injury is about to happen to him.
Yeah.
And I don't wish that upon anyone. So if he does go heel side, he could change his move sets, not deliver so much fast-paced stuff, and then yet he reserves his body a little bit longer, which benefits him greatly. So yeah, I would like to see this because we do have a lot of faces, and we need a little bit more heel side. Guys,
sides, man.
Yeah, guys who actually create a problem, not guys that are joke that are heels right now.
Literally.
We do see Paul Heyman in theory. In theory, talks to Heyman, and he says he's lost after he didn't know what to do with this title now that Logan Paul is out.
Yep.
Because it is confirmed that Logan Paul will be out about 3 to 4 months with the tricep injury.
Tricep tear,
Yep. And at this point, it's just, we don't know when he's going to get back. Hopefully he heals well, because now we're down to many members of the Vision being out. Bronson Reed, and then it was Logan Paul. Some people speculate that maybe Braun Breaker got a little bit of an injury because the way he got basically slammed by Dawkins when he was running for that spear was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So look, I like that they do. At the same time, necessarily, it's not always the greatest because sometimes these injuries happen, and there's only so much you can protect out of these high flying moves. Because the way Logan did get injured was that Dawkins did get out of the crowd, jumped over. I think it was Dawkins or was it Ford?
I think it was Ford.
It was Ford.
Keep going, sorry.
He flipped over, he caught him, and when he landed on his tricep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was game over at that point. And you could tell he was really hurt. And like I said, man, I do enjoy these guys' movesets, but sometimes you just got to tone it down a little bit because the injury bug is real right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we see it people at people. There's also another rumor that Soruka suffered an injury.
Yep.
At Saturday night's main event. So what is that going to lead to in Clash of Italy where she's going to face Becky Lynch one-on-one? That might change the game where even Soruka could lose because at this point, we didn't see her tonight, by the way.
No, we didn't.
No. So, like I said, man, sometimes we got to tone it down. But, he did say he's lost. He says he doesn't know. And, he thinks about basically giving up his title because he doesn't have a partner. And Heyman says, I don't want to hear this. You're going to defend that title, and I'm going to get you anybody to defend it with you. If I had to get Braun Breaker out to defend it with you, don't you worry. You earned this title. You have this title. And while Theory hikes up Heyman, Theory just out of nowhere says, oh my God. And he just hugs Heyman quickly. Thank you. I needed this. And it looked like Paul was scared too. Like the way he just hugged him real quick. And honestly, it was unexpected, but he says, yes. But Theory says, I want to do something. I want to do something for Logan Paul. And that is hurt everyone that hurt him that night. And Haven says, I'm glad you said that because I think you know what to do to who you need to do it to tonight? And then Theory says, I do. Then a little bit afterwards, fast forward, Theory does attack your buddy, Joe Henry, takes him out completely with, and out we have Joe Henry, the first victim of the night.
Yep.
Later on, we see the Street Profits. Dawkins confronts Seth Rollins. Before he says much, he did tell him, like, hey, I did everything that Ford asked me to do that night. I didn't interfere in your match that night. But Rollins says, but we need now more than ever to team up, to take out the Vision. And at that point, Ford comes out and says, nothing comes out of Rollins ever. Nothing good ever comes out with Rollins, teaming up with Rollins. Again, with this stuff, why do we always have to deal with you every single week? Rollins says, look, we don't have to be friends. We just have to team up and take out the Vision. We have a common enemy. And then at this point, Rollins says, look, man, one of us was a multi-champion. One of us main evented WrestleMania. One of us is a superstar,
Ooh, that was a shot. I remember that line.
And Ford says, at least he didn't stab his brothers in the back like he did.
Aye.
And he says, where are your brothers now? He looks around. Oh, yeah, they're not here. And again, he is right, technically. Right. And at that point, a little bickering, but Ford says, you know what? How about this? I want a match against you tonight. You say you're the best. I say I'm the best. How about you one-on-one tonight in Columbus, Ohio? While Dawkins is looking at both of them like, what the fuck, man? Like, because at this point,
we just have peace.
Well, Dawkins didn't want this. Dawkins just wanted to talk to Seth. Seth wanted to talk to Dawkins. Nobody here is interacting. And at this point, we do have a one-on-one match later on tonight, confirmed. Ford versus Rollins. On papers, this looks good, but we never get a clean finish on Raw, unfortunately. Nope. So, Javon Evans sees Penta. Javon says, hey, look, I apologize for that incident in the ring. Please, it's nothing to do with you. I'm just going through some stuff, and I'm sorry about that. Penta says, you know what? Don't worry about it, man. I understand. So Javon goes on his way, walking around until we see Rey Mysterio come out of nowhere, talks to Penta and says, do you remember when you were that age? How crazy you were? And Penta's like, I agree. And Rey hypes him up saying, it's glad to see a Mexican going worldwide up there with that title right now. And then Penta says, you know what? Thank you, Rey. I appreciate that. But I want to congratulate you on being the new general manager of AAA. So if you guys didn't know, you guys didn't watch Saturday right after Saturday night's main event. Because once again, like I've been telling you, bro, they do not care about AAA. Because the reason why is once you had Saturday night's main event going, it did have an advertisement afterwards of, hey, tune in for AAA. I did. Guess what? I was already on the progress of going. So we missed a lot when I tuned in and on AAA. So we missed like a whole hour's worth. So like I said, man, they don't care how they clash together because literally while the end of Saturday night's main event was going, AAA was already starting. Yeah, so we missed a lot. So at that point, it was announced that Rey Mysterio was the new GM of AAA. So congrats to him. Honestly, not surprising. We'll like to see how that goes. Could be pretty good. Who knows? Could be Rey Mysterio's calling to be the GM out there. So he may not retire fully, but he may just take a back row and just do some on-air appearance out there instead.
I can see it.
Which I'm not, against. Penta tells Rey, you know what? Still want to be a fighting champion. I want to fight the very best. So he wants Rey Mysterio versus Penta for the IC title. And he says, if you're down for that, I'll go talk to Pierce. And Rey seems like, yes, I want that, because obviously Rey still has that itch in him where he wants to get in the ring. He wants to get a one-on-one match. And he's up for fighting Penta. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, this seems like a pretty good match.
Yeah.
On paper, my only thing is that if it's going to be a clean 1-versus-1 match. Because we still have Ethan Page. We still have Rusev. We might even have Javon Evans. All trying to get into that title scene, which I'm not really happy about, but we'll see. At that point, we then have the Judgment Day come out, Roxanne and Raquel with Liv and Dominic Mysterio. And it's going to be Roxanne and Raquel versus Bailey and Valkyria to get back into that title scene. So they didn't pick up the win last week. So we kick it off, the same old, where we eventually have Liv Morgan interfere. And at that point, the referee kicks her out once again, like she does every week. So here's the issue. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really excited to watch this match.
No.
At all, because the issue is this: once again, same old shit, same old Judgment Day, same old crap every single week. And so my thing is this: what's going on with Liv Morgan? She has not defended that fucking title
once.
She has not done any type of storyline with that title.
Never.
Since Stephanie Valkyrie got injured, and I get it. Maybe you're waiting for her to return. For God's sakes, man, throw someone out there to go face her. It doesn't matter who it is. Give her a fucking storyline. But instead, you have her being the manager of Roxanne and Raquel, cheerleader, being basically, I don't know, like what angle are they going here, man? You're wasting a lot of potential here. Once again, it's the same old Triple H storyline. Somebody gets the belt. You know what? We can't have the defend. We can't have them basically in a storyline. All we gotta have them is in the background, like they always do. Same old shit.
That gets boring, honestly.
And it's starting to get really stupid. Honestly, it has no common sense anymore.
Boring, stale, stupid, idiotic.
So no common sense. And I don't know where they're gonna go with the storyline with Liv, but if they're gonna wait till Raquel for Stephanie Valkyrie to come back for SummerSlam, well, that's 2 months away, and that's a very long wait. And I think it's just yep, it doesn't make any sense. But regardless, continue on. We have Dom at ringside and Liv Morgan, and eventually afterwards, where we kick out Liv, Dominic Mysterio still in there. Liv says, "Hey, help them out, help them finish off the storyline." So we did have a bout where a 2 count goes in, and I think it was Roxanne that got the 2 count on Lyra, but the ref looked like he waited and didn't want to slam 3 because I feel like the spot was late to save it, and it was. So at that point, we had a bout right there, and it was pretty obvious. But then afterwards, we got the referee get distracted by Dominic Mysterio until Dom throws in a belt without the ref looking. And at that point, Roxanne tries to go for it, but Bailey at the same time gets the belt. So they're both playing tug of war until Roxanne Bailey's like, you know what? You could have it. So Roxanne pulls the belt so hard that he hits Dominic Mysterio with the belt. And afterwards, Bailey goes for a roll up. 1, 2, 3. Bailey and Lyra win the match.
Not a fan of it, but oh well.
Well, the whole thing was boring. Honestly, I don't find the appeal of it. I don't know where this is gonna go. So my question is, does this mean Roxanne's gonna have once again issues with the Judgment Day?
I can see it.
But like, where's the storyline gonna go to if once again, Finn Balor wasn't here tonight.
No.
So where's the direction of all this?
I don't know. Honestly, the only thing I can see is if you wanted to really end the Judgment Day, you had to do it 3 weeks ago. Okay. Start the build up for Roxanne and Finn to start teaming up, and eventually the match was gonna be Dom and Liv versus Finn and Roxanne, and that would have built a lot more tonight.
Okay, but the thing is, we could have had the storyline continue a couple of weeks back. We didn't have Roxanne necessarily join Finn. We could have had it simmer a bit, but in no point we ever had a continuation. Roxanne said, "You know what? I don't trust you." Walks off. In this storyline, it doesn't make any sense. Where all Finn said, "All right, you know what? Have it your way. I try to warn you." And in no point did this had any type of continuation throughout this whole match. So
it's not even the match. It's been the weeks. That's the thing that gets me upset. It's been the weeks because it's like you already planted the seed. Capitalize on the fucking seed and keep moving forward. It's like you could have done you could have done this match 2 weeks ago, and it's like, all right, cool. You know what? You done screwed us again. You got one more. Something happens as an accident, whatever it is, and then like, you know what? Cool. And Raquel and Liv start beating up on Roxanne. And then like you're gonna have Dom like trying to bring him with the chair or something like that, and it just escalates to where Finn has to come in to save Roxanne. And like I said, yes, you're not including the champion in a specific kind of storyline right now against someone else to be defending the title, but at least you're having her now on the fucking sidelines.
Right.
You're displaying the championship. You're displaying what she's supposed to be.
Right.
And that's why, like, I just don't get it because it's like, so what do you want her to be? What do you want every single champion to be? Just to be on the sidelines and just hold up the little shiny fucking belt and then walk away? It's so stupid.
Right. And that's the one thing. It's just that it doesn't make sense. And I guarantee you, next week's storyline is this: is basically Liv Morgan's gonna ask Roxanne, "What is going on? What happened there?" And he's like, "Are you with us or not?" Roxanne's like, "I'm with you guys. I love you guys." And that's it. So be like, "Okay, I trust you," and nothing else. We're not even gonna get Finn Balor back, I'm sure, into the interaction because it seems like it's all over with. Ever since his match with JD, it doesn't make sense for him to get inserted again. It's just so bad booking. That's all
Honestly.
it is. It's in bad booking. Comment by Nick. Didn't watch Raw again tonight.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, in the end of the day, I mean, you can watch the highlights because it's the same copy, paste, repeat. The only difference is
Paul Heyman opened up Raw.
Well, in general, it's just different position of time slots.
Yeah.
So what you got last week was shuffled, and that's all it is, basically. It's the same copy and paste. He says, I'm not a fan of JD McDonald's, which I make sense. I don't know who JD McDonald's is, but I'm not a fan of him either, I guess. But yeah, Nick, you didn't really miss much. The same copy or paste type of thing. So I don't blame you there. All right. Afterwards, we did have Roman that says, you know, he's talking to Pierce and says, you know what? He doesn't want to go back to his old ways. But he also didn't know that Jacob Fatu knew about some forbidden things and knew about tribal comeback. He said he needs to know that when he loses, he will serve him or get out of his way, meaning if Pierce, you need to fire him, you're going to have to fire him. But if he beats me, then all I can say is good luck to everyone. Because we're all screwed if Fatu wins, which sounds a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, sounds a little bit interesting. Sounds a little different. Something I'd rather see.
I think everyone would rather see that.
Yep. Okay. Afterwards, we see LA Knight come out because it's time for him to finally make an appearance after months of disappearing and being away for so long. But in the meantime, yeah. But in the meantime, we did get an acknowledgement of WWE for Memorial Day. So for you guys out there, WWE did make a nice montage for everyone out there, for everyone served for this country. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it greatly because without you guys, we wouldn't be here today.
Thank you for
doing this podcast, doing anything. Thank you guys for your service out there. You know, happy Memorial Day to all you guys. All righty. LA Knight comes out. He thanks all the service members as well.
Yep.
And at that point, he talks about the Vision and the Usos. He says, entering King of the Ring tournament, which now he's declaring himself that he's going to be in there. He has a shot to aim at Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, you know? He says, so where does that put the Usos? He looks at it, the most corrupt champ right now, trying to get the old bloodline drama back once again.
Let's call that out.
Yeah, which, you know, I personally think LA Knight has a point.
Yeah, that's a huge point.
Yeah. He says it started a little different, but at this point, you know, it's starting to look same by same as he keeps looking at it week by week. And at this point, he also says it also looks like the old Jimmy and Jay, they know is back at it once again. And that's when Jimmy comes out and says, hey, he has a lot of respect for LA Knight. He fought side by side with them
at WrestleMania.
Yep. He says, yes, I get it, you know, but LA Knight says yes. But now he fights with Roman 3 versus 1 against Jacob Fatu. And honestly, that rubs him the wrong way.
Yep.
Jimmy says he understands that. He knows how he feels. Everyone has issues about this. especially with the old bloodline. And Jimmy says, I can't blame him because, it was different back then. And I didn't like that either.
No one did.
But so at this point, Jimmy says if he wants to win King of the Ring, go ahead, do it. He has no issue against it. Oos. Like, go ahead, do your thing, LA Knight. And then at this point, LA Knight says, all righty, but Jimmy, I'm asking you to be honest with me. Are you being honest with me that you're not,
Yep.
not feeling the type of way where everything's going with between Jacob and Roman Reigns? He says at this point, he's not even, he's, one thing is that Jimmy's the messenger, but he's not second fiddle to Roman Reigns. Honestly, he's third. He says he doesn't want to see Jimmy back at it as the errand boy like he was back in the day.
That's true.
Jimmy gets angry and says, you know what? Like, this is your warning shot, Oos. You're lucky that Jay's not here tonight, or else things would be a lot different right now.
I just gotta wait for Jay.
Yeah, well, that too. And I was surprised he wasn't here tonight. I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA Knight says it's like the old times, huh? Where they all come out and beat him up again, 3-on-1. Jimmy says, you keep disrespecting the old TC and his family, and it's going to be about his business too tonight. And LA says he likes him. He even says that, he says he likes him. He even likes Jay. He says that Roman needs him because he can't do it himself. He needed him and Heyman and Jay. He needs them all to stir up the pot once again. He's going to make it his business, and make sure you tell Roman Reigns this message and spell his name right. And that is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
And at that point, the segment ends. What do you see about it? How do you look at it? I personally think L.A. Knight has a good point that a lot of people are not talking about, that the old bloodline is reuniting and people are not seeing an issue with this.
I see. Here's one with it.
And honestly, how isn't Roman and the Usos not healed technically? Because it was a 3-on-1 beatdown, and I get it. Jacob Fatu
held his own.
Yeah, held his own and was a crazy madman, and he's technically the heel. But if it's a 3-on-1, I don't know, man. That doesn't sit well for me either, So seems like a lot of bad blood here once again, and it seems like LA Knight is kind of has a point here in my eyes. Do you see Clash of Italy where LA Knight might make an interference to help out Jacob Fatu, or at least, like, I don't know, let's just say so there's not going to be anybody interfering from the bloodline, that's for sure. But LA Knight's not part of the bloodline.
Nope.
So you see any interference from LA Knight that night, or you think it's going to be a clean 1-on-1?
Here's what I can see. I can see like it could actually be almost a clean 1-on-1 for a little bit, but then I can see the Knight coming out to try to help out Jacob. Basically, you know what? You got want the numbers game? We got the numbers game. Here comes LA Knight. Yeah. But then I could also see Jimmy come out to help out Roman.
Right.
Because he is the errand boy.
Okay.
So I can see that happening, and then in the end, LA Knight gets his ass handed to him 3-1. Because Roman's gonna win. Let's be honest, Roman's gonna win, and because of that, he's got to serve him. He actually made a point, like, he has to serve me. In the end, I feel like it's gonna be a 3-on-1 attack, and
after the match or before?
After the match.
Okay, because they can't technically come in because it's the bloodline rules, and their point is that nobody from the bloodline, nobody from their family can interfere. This has to be a 3-on-1. That's why during the ending of tonight's Raw, fast forwarding, Roman said, you guys could go. You already signed the oath. And he can't attack me no matter what, So it would have to be in the end, and it would have to be acknowledged. But the fact that is this, so this means we're going to get back to a feud, Bloodline and LA Knight?
Pretty much.
Where is that going to go, man? It's just the same old shit. Copy and paste, the same old boring shit once again.
Yep.
Nothing new. Nothing new is going to go on. I'm not excited to see that. Another comment here.
Gilbert got here. I believe actually this is the first time commenting. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate the comment, brother. Can we discuss the fact that Roman Reigns' character hasn't changed since the Shield? There's a reason that he needed Paul Heyman as the wise man.
And that's what LA Knight did mention. You know, he needed Paul, he needed Jimmy and Jay. And that really pushed Roman's character to another level of the tribal chief at the time. Because honestly, if you're talking about Roman as a singles character, a single run, has he really changed his character development? Do you think
Nope.
from the Shield days?
Nope.
I think he's gotten a little bit better on the mic. I'll give him that. But he plays the same old badass character that he
Yeah.
did from the Shield. So without the Usos and Heyman, like you did mention, the Wise Men, there's not that much character development.
No.
No, so you're not wrong. I do agree with you. There's not that much change development. Now I could think he hold his own on the mic a little bit better. I don't think he's gonna get roasted by a legend like John Cena once again. But I think, you know, at the same time, I do think he's gotten a little bit better. But he does benefit from a Paul Heyman,
He benefits a lot from a Paul Heyman, though.
and he also benefits a lot from his cousins.
Yep.
Because if we're being honest, if I had to choose between all three men, I would have to put Jay, Jimmy, and then Roman Reigns
I can see it.
for like guys who I like to see more character development from, and in that order. Because Jay, whether you like him or not, is a little bit more charismatic. Jimmy is too.
Yeah.
And then it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. In the end of the day, there's a reason why he needs Heyman. There's a reason why he needs the Uso. There's a reason why he needs this whole bloodline thing to work out for him. We can't have Solo Sikoa come back on Raw yet because he's on SmackDown. So at this point, it makes more sense if we're moving a little bit forward tonight, where Fatu has to lose, which he's looked like he's going to lose. They kind of foreshadow it later on tonight, and he's going to serve Roman Reigns, which I'm not really happy about because at that point, you're basically
forming the bloodline 2.0.
Not only that, but you're also dismantling what Jacob Fatu was building up as a character, as a badass, which just sucks because now we're just going to focus on Roman Reigns once again. Not too happy about it, but we'll see how this goes. You know, hopefully things change. All right. Afterwards, we do have Pierce that talks to Rey Mysterio and congrats with him about his AAA GM role. And at that point, he also talks about a match potentially for the IC title until Ethan Page comes back and says, "What is this? Like, what's going on here? Why are you guys talking about his IC title where I should get a rematch?" Pierce says, "Well, you got to earn it." And Ethan's like, "So what has Rey Mysterio done?" And basically Pierce is like, "Well, he's a legend." And that's when Rusev comes out of nowhere saying, "What is going on here?" And Ethan's like, "Here we go again." And Rusev's like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" "Well, what I mean is that these guys are trying to take your title opportunity for the IC title tonight at, you know, eventually at a future time." And Rusev buys into the crap. So at that point, Rusev gets invested and says, "Well, that's, you know, that's messed up. You got to earn it, you know?"
Yeah.
So Pierce makes it official. We have Rusev versus Rey Mysterio tonight for a number one contender shot at Penta's title. Honestly, it was a filler match, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Rollins comes out to face off one-on-one with Ford next. All right.
Match of the night.
Match of the night, yes.
Match of the year, no.
Nah, I wouldn't say so. I mean, it was probably the best match of the night. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. So at some point, Rollins looks at Ford and tells him, "Look," like he says, "I'm on the same page as you. I'm trying to help you out. You know, I'm on the same page, man. Ford, let's work together. I'm on the same page during the match." Ford doesn't see it that way, slaps him. And at that point, Rollins follows it up with a couple of buckle bombs.
Yep.
And then later on, Ford goes for a 450, misses, and then Rollins capitalizes and hits him with the curb stomp to pick up the win. So afterwards, we see Dawkins come out to see both of the guys out here that just threw their match, you know, all over the place and threw their body on the line.
And they really did, though.
Yeah, and they're all both down on the ground, defeated. But before he could get into the ring, we have Theory once again come out, hit Dawkins with the steel chair.
Yep.
And at some point, he slams one more chair shot into his head.
Almost like a concerto.
Yeah. Well, security comes out. Pierce tells him, like, "What the hell? Get out of here, man. Like, you're disgusting. Get out of here." And at that point, Theory just walks away. And, we do have Dawkins out, man. Dawkins out in bad.
Yep.
Backstage, we see Ford and Rollins talking to Pierce, worried, obviously. And Ford says this, you know what? You're right. You're right. We have bigger things to worry about. And Rollins says, like, what do you mean by that? And I'm saying we have bigger things to worry about. And my brother right now. And he says, at this point, we need to work together. We need to help out my brother and we need to stick together and fight off division. So now it looks like Ford has come to the conclusion that, you know what, we have a bigger threat. We need to work together. They took out my brother, and at this point, we need to take out the vision together. Uh we eventually, so put it this way, Rollins then tells Pierce that this needs to end. This needs to end now. I want Braun Breaker. And I want this to end now. So we're just setting up a future, probably a match later on. We're probably going to do a couple of team up matches with Ford and Rollins eventually to face off with the rest of the division that we have, which is just really Theory and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
So,
Because there's nothing else that can happen.
So, okay. Honestly, I think they should end it soon.
They should.
Because we don't have too many members left. We only have Theory and Braun and Heyman.
Literally.
So we can't add anybody else. There's no point. Honestly, I don't want to see it go any longer. I don't want to see it go to July. I want to go see it at SummerSlam, for God's sakes. So the sooner we end this, the better off we are in a better place. What do you think?
Honestly, dude, the better we finish it, the faster we finish it off, the better. Because now it's just into that loophole of just continuity and cringiness, where it's like, why are we still trying to let this simmer, trying to let this cook? Yes. It should have been stopped so long ago.
Right, and that is true. So hopefully they ended by, I don't know, by 2 weeks from now, because there's nobody left.
Honestly, worst case, even if you do like till mid-June, fine.
Right.
Even mid-June, that's fine, because that's already past 2 weeks. That's already 3 weeks, almost a month. Fine.
Right.
But after that, it's like, then what's next? Unless Bronson Reed comes back, it's not going to be interesting, because it's going to be very fast.
Right.
Because then they're going to, then what? They have to add a new member to the Vision?
Right.
And at this point, it's going to be like, so who's going to be the third guy now?
Well, that's why they had to eliminate Dawkins. Because they had to write him up. I guarantee you, this wasn't the plan coming in tonight.
No.
I guarantee you, they're like, well, shit. It's technically 3 against 1 now. So we're going to have to eliminate Dawkins. So now it's going to be you, Ford, and Rollins. It works. To me, it works this way.
For now.
For now, it works. Two guys that don't really like each other, but working for their common enemy, plus for a brother of them.
Yep.
But now it's like, yeah, we don't have enough guys to face the Vision because you guys are outnumbering the Vision 3-on-2. So let's take out Dawkins and let's keep it going. Let's take out Joe Henry just in case.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, man, to the point where we have the Vision. What's left of the Vision? Yes, end it. It really should just be Rollins just said one more time, 1-on-1, and that's it. Yep. And yes, at this point, have Seth go over because it makes sense storyline wise.
So it'll be the end of the Vision.
Yep. All righty. Afterwards, we do see Becky Lynch come out and give the interview and says some people get punched in the face and become the face of the company. Shout out to Becky when she got punched in the nose, got broken by Nia Jax, but yet that put in the man that we know today.
Literally.
Yes, catapulted Becky Lynch to superstar stardom, and she has never left since then. And then she says some people get punched in the face and get a wake-up call. But at the end of the day, she is the greatest woman champion. She is the greatest woman wrestler of all time. It's not just her saying it. Sports Illustrated saying, the fan, all these people are, the same old Becky stuff. Honestly, it works for her. And she says that, Sol Ruka is feeling out of it because she hasn't gotten into clean win. And you know what? Becky Lynch is still going to hold the title up. And there's this difference between striving for greatness, and then becoming greatness.
Yeah.
And says, welcome to the big time, Sol. I'll see you at Clash of Italy. Because we didn't have Sol Ruka tonight, which I think the injury reports is true. I think she is kind of hurt in a way. So hopefully,
she has a few days until Clash.
And that's only if she's going to wrestle, and it's how she's going to wrestle. Maybe she gets taken out early.
Yeah.
who knows, you know? Ray's then seen coming out to face off Rusev on a one-on-one match with Ethan Page at commentary. Anytime Ethan Page is on the mic, it's hilarious. Yes,
awesome.
it's really good, honestly. I love it. I love Ethan Page on the mic. Pretty good stuff, man. Ray uses his speed right away to embarrass Rusev. When I saw this, I'm not going to lie, I knew he was going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at that point, we already not seen Rusev won a match since when exactly? It's been quite a while that I seen him win a match in WWE.
Right? So, yeah.
When's the last time you remembered?
Wasn't it when he teamed up with Ray Phoenix?
I don't know. It's odd. Ray Phoenix?
Or did he team up with Ray Phoenix once?
I don't remember that. It might be.
Like on a SmackDown or something? Like on a random episode of SmackDown?
Maybe. Who knows? Even then, I don't think he won. But at that point, Rusev tries to go for a camel clutch, and Ray counters and goes for a roll up. And at that point, he gets the 1, 2, 3. Rusev loses one more match once again. What is the point? He's a jobber. Dude, I have never seen a guy, a big guy, that has the skills, has the potential to be a badass, was a top mid-carder for a longest time, go all the way down to jobber level and make him as a joke.
And both companies.
And both companies, what he bashed one company saying he did not want to lose and thought that company was a joke. And now this company makes him in a bigger joke than ever before. So congrats to Rusev, man. You become the punchline to every joke now.
Literally.
So after the match, Rusev gets mad, attacks Rey Mysterio. So does Ethan Page. Out comes Rey Mysterio's friend, Dragon Lee, comes out to save Rey Mysterio. They take off both men and they stand tall with Rey picking up the win. So now he's going on to face Penta one-on-one for the IC title. I'm excited for that one. If Ray's 100%,
it's gonna be a good match.
It's gonna be a good match. Obviously, we're not gonna get the Ray of old,
no,
but we don't have to.
No,
you know, regardless, it should be a passing of the torch, and we should have a clean finish. But my speculation is we're not. Unfortunately, we're not, and we're gonna have some sort of interference of Ethan Page, or even Rusev. It could be even Javon Evans.
I just see that one happening.
Yeah,
so
it could be all combination, all men's, but I'm not excited because in the end of the day, I don't see this as a clean win. But we'll see.
Question and comment. Hey, one other question. What happened to the Lucha Brothers reunion? Ray Phoenix has almost completely disappeared. WWE has been lacking so much on pretty much everything, and AEW has been superb.
Alrighty, so the Lucha Brothers reunion. So put it this way. It wasn't on WWE's radar right away because they did want. So one of the things that happened, unfortunately, was that Ray Phoenix was on the whole contract hold from AEW while Penta was set free. So that kind of probably pushed a lot of WWE's idea to reunite these guys in WWE and have them chase after the tag team title. Personally, I think that's a good thing because then we had one of Penta's single run that's been pretty great.
Yeah.
Until now, you know, I still think it's great. But yes, I do think this has affected Ray Phoenix a lot. And when he came in, I had a lot of high hopes that he was going to do a lot of great things because between both brothers, I consider Ray Phoenix the better wrestler, the better movesets. He reminds me of a younger Rey Mysterio, but a little bit more clean, a little bit more crisp. So I had a lot of hopes that, yes, Ray Phoenix can't cut a promo, unfortunately, like Penta does, but his movesets is going to talk for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a lot of hopes when he did join the Blue Bland, but eventually he just fell off and he wasn't used. And I think WWE doesn't know exactly what to do with them.
They cause him a lot of losses.
So also the one thing is, if you guys notice, is when a wrestler cannot speak a lot of English, WWE doesn't really push them as much as they should. There's only a few wrestlers that get away with that. Io. I would say Asuka, but Asuka does pretty good mic work in English. But it's really just Io. But if you look at Stephanie McCure, a lot of trouble for her to get on the mic, you know? And WWE pushed her as well when she was champion, especially. She went kind of MIA for quite a bit. But what's it called? Ray Phoenix does do a lot of work in AAA still right now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he did wrestle last Saturday, so he's getting used there. but I don't think he's gonna have a reunion anytime soon when Penta, unless Penta loses his
I was gonna say
title.
when he loses his title, then I can see the reunion.
But at the same time, what is the point where WWE just basically fired a lot of their tag team division,
Literally though,
and their tag team division is a joke?
it is.
So where do you see the Lucha Brothers going to? Raw, SmackDown?
Either way, though, screwed. It's a bad tag team picture.
I don't think they should get reunited. So I want to see it, but
I would say have at least 2 more tag teams on SmackDown, 2 more tag teams on Raw, and it actually adds more to it. But this whole of you're not even utilizing your tag teams, you have them stuck in some God knows what kind of sandwich kind of thing in between. Because look at the Lucha, not the Lucha Bro, sorry, the American Brothers, whatever the hell their name is, Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy, yeah.
Alpha Academy.
What's left of the tag team division?
Of Alpha Academy, you have
MFTs, and we're just naming from every brand. MFTs, the War Raiders are in AAA now.
War Raiders in AAA.
So they don't count. Mortar Machine Guns are out pretty much.
Machine Guns, yeah.
So like a lot of the tag teams are not even there. Like I said, it's a joke. It's ridiculous. There's nothing there anymore. For them to have a reunion, they have to go after a big team. The New Day are gone.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's just like there's no tag team division out there that's really like a contender for them. So if they reunite and go after the tag team titles, what is there for them to defend afterwards? They're just going to hold the titles hostage for quite a bit.
Because that's what TK loves to do.
Yeah, so I would like to see a reunion, but at the same time, they have to face against a great tag team. The reason why it worked so well in AEW, because that tag team division was stacked. They had one of the best matches on that steel cage match against the Young Bucks themselves.
It was amazing, dude.
Yeah. And you said AEW has been superb. Look, as far as like Dynamite every week, I think it's hit and miss sometimes. But yeah, I think they've been hitting it pretty well. As far as pay-per-view wise, I agree. 100% pay-per-view wise, they've been hitting it. It's been a lot more entertaining. If I spend $40 or $50 right now on an AEW pay-per-view, I actually feel like I got my money's worth. Mm-hmm. So yes, I do agree. It's been doing a lot better than WWE week by week, I would like to say. But potentially, I do want to see the Lucha Brothers reunite, but when we have a healthier tag team division. I don't think right now is it, though. No. And I don't think we're going to get it anytime soon, unfortunately, because WWE doesn't believe in their tag team division. The only ones that's getting somewhat of a shine is the women's tag team scene right now, which...
that's a cluster fucking itself.
Yeah, but still a lot better than we have years past, though.
Yeah. Wyatt said what? What up, guys? How you all doing tonight? What up, Wyatt? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? Welcome back, brother.
Welcome back, brother.
I'm glad you got the vacation in, man. Glad to see you back tonight. Seeing your live stream, man. Guys, check out Why Wrestling. He does some good content out there. Join him in his live streams on Monday Night Raw.
And on Friday, too, for Friday Night SmackDown.
All righty, man. And at this point, so this gets interesting afterwards. All right, guys. Theory's seen talking to Pierce. Pierce is mad at him and kicks him out and tells him he had enough. Theory says, was it enough what happened to Braun Breaker? Was it enough that happened to Bronson Reed? Or was it enough what happened to Logan Paul? Heyman comes out of nowhere and says, you know what, Pierce, don't worry about it. I got this. He's over there pretending to get mad at Theory. Yeah. And then Theory's like, that guy's fucking crazy. And Paul was like, I know. Just keep going. But then we do see
Alpha
Academy, and Theory stares at them, but stares at Maxine especially. Mm-hmm. And Otis tells them, I don't like this. I don't like him at all. And Maxine says, hey, he had a lot of stuff going on for him tonight. Just leave him alone. Yeah. He says, you know what, guys? I'll catch you guys up later. And they look at him like, what is that? What is that going on? So we're finally getting the whole scenes where we have Maxine show up with Theory on these backstage segments where we caught her talking to Theory. We caught her in the car All
Yep.
this is starting to finally add up. So we might finally get another member of the Vision. And it has to be Maxine Dupree, which I
She's
know
gonna
SG3
elevate
is
the
helping.
group to the
Yes.
top, and sky's the limit for them guys after that.
SG3 is happy as hell. I know.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, she thinks Maxine is the best solution for
Again,
the
that's why
Vision.
I'm saying
That's the Vision right
the
there.
moment that she joined, sky is the limit for the Vision. Sky is the limit.
Because when Seth
Sky's the limit.
was really doing the whole Vision thing, right away she pictured Maxine being the one
Yep.
to destroy the whole thing. You know,
Yep.
honestly, if she joins the Vision, it really becomes a joke. It's
It's already a joke.
not that bad. There's still time to save it with ending it the right way. What I'm saying,
Keyword, if.
I think they're gonna end it because they don't have an option. I think tonight they proved with Dawkins, them taking Dawkins out and Joe Henry. They realized, you know what, our time is short. We just have to run it to the end because there's not much left.
No.
I do think this sets up Theory going with Maxine in their own type of dual way.
Yeah.
Which, in the end of the day, you know what? Go
She's
for
a
it.
manager.
Yeah, go for it. Because I think they need Maxine to do something instead of being with Alpha Academy all day. And then later on, we do have Fatu that comes out for his contract signing at Clash of Italy. Fatu comes out, looks at Pierce, signs the contract for tribal combat at Clash of Italy. After he signs it, he starts throwing the chair at the security guards. He hits them too, by the way. Security comes in to try to stop him, but he pushes them all the way until Roman comes out. He gets in the ring. He looks at Fatu. He signs the contract, what makes this official at Clash of Italy. Tribal combat, one-on-one, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Roman says to everybody, leave us. Pierce says, don't you think it's better for security to do their job? Roman says he signed the contract. He signed a blood oath. He can't touch me. Leave us now. And then he looks at Fatu. He looks at the crowd and he says, Columbus, Ohio, acknowledge me. And he tells Fatu, see how simple it was? All you had to do as well was acknowledge me when I beat you at Backlash. You signed a contract. It was just that simple to acknowledge me, and we both could have moved on to the next mission. Fatu says,
take out LA Knight.
yeah. Fatu says, acknowledge you like everyone in here? Hell no. See, I'm not like everyone else. Let's keep it 100. You are the reason the bloodlines, families living the life they are right now. The reason we got elevated to the next level. Yes, I'll give you that. But you can't take us so far any further now. It's time for a change of direction, change of scenery. Do you live by the code at the bloodline, or did you? Yeah, sorry. Do you live by the code at Backlash, or did you bend the rules to beat me that day? I get you had to do what was necessary, is what you're gonna say to win. But at Clash of Italy, I'm about to dog walk the tribal chief at the tribal comeback, and everybody else here afterwards will have consequences. And then Roman says consequences. I'm a man of my word. If you beat me, you become shot caller. You could do whatever you want at that point.
Yep.
But if you can't beat me and you can't dog walk me, I'm going to domesticate you.
Yep.
And you're going to have to serve me. And then eventually, in time, you're going to have to love your tribal chief. Fatu says, a win for me. Sorry. Fatu says, either way, it's a win for me. If you dog walk my ass, guess what? I still got a job here. Nothing's going to change. None of it. But when I dog walk your ass, everyone in here will learn to acknowledge me. Now what I mean, know what I mean. Yeah, sorry about that, guy. You know what I mean. There we go. That was a tongue twister for some reason. He drops his mic, so does Roman, and at that point, they grab hands, bump their heads, and Raw goes off. real quick, SG3 with this ending and the way they talked the last little bit of info there. How do you see, without giving so much a prediction, because we're going to have the prediction for Friday of Clash of Italy?
Yes, we are. We'll be back on Friday.
What do you see here?
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all. Right away, I see that they're foreshadowing that Roman's going to win right away.
Yep.
Fatu will acknowledge him, and they're trying to make Fatu look less of a bitch and say, you know what? I'm going to lose. But guess what? A win's a win. I got a job.
Yep. And I'm going to acknowledge the tribal chief.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to acknowledge you, man. I'm not going to go out like a little bitch, which he's still going to go out like a little bitch in my eyes.
Very much.
I don't like it. I'm not excited. I honestly not excited for this whole next version of the Bloodline. I don't think this is necessary anymore. But guess what? WWE wants to force us because they don't know what to do right now. Their storylines are dry. Their writers suck. Triple H sucks. TKO sucks.
Bring back, bro.
I mean, at this point, put in fucking AI because I think at this point, let's just try that. There's nothing else we could do. Couple of comments.
A lot of comments. Jose Martinez _ 316. Welcome back, brother. Can we agree Penta and Javon had a killer match? Yes, they absolutely did 100%. I think that, again, we just talked about it. I think that match stole the show for the night. And you can literally see like they have good chemistry. Can't wait for it to run it back.
There's 2 matches tonight: Rollins versus Ford.
Yeah,
but you could obviously argue that Javon and Penta did have a killer match tonight, better match than they did. Yeah. So whatever you guys want to pick, I think one or the other was good. But besides that, though, overall tonight, real quick, tonight's Raw, I thought it was kind of lackluster. I wasn't really excited. And this is basically the go home Raw to Italy. Oh. The issue is that with all these pay-per-views being so rushed, it just seems so fucking lackluster. The storylines are not there.
I'll tell you this, man. I 100% agree with you, but I'm gonna just tell you this. This is the time where you can go ahead and with your multiple pay-per-views that you're having, you can have multiple storylines come back and forth. And actually, like at this point right now, like for Saturday night's main event, you can focus on the IC title and move it around and keep going forward with that. In this one, for Clash of Italy, you could now put your Gunther versus Cody and those kind of matches, and it just keeps moving forward for the next steps. And it actually makes it more interesting for what's going to happen. And you don't have a clusterfuck because you can have built pay-per-view after pay-per-view after PLE after PLE after PLE. You could have literally have put it correctly, and you could have done the right thing to keep moving it forward.
Right.
So that's where I'm actually going to go with it. The fact that, you know what, I feel like they just don't know what to do, and they're not pushing. Like right now would be the perfect time to actually move forward. And you know what, we're going to have multiple PLEs. Let's focus on one, and we'll build up the mid carder. So right now, again, like I said before, your Saturday main event, let that be your mid card. Let them be your mid card. You put the one title on the line, which what they did when they brought in Penta for the Intercontinental title. You bring your eyes on the product for that. And then the next one, which is now Clash, you now have your quote unquote main eventers. Right. And that's actually where it's actually supposed to go. But right now, though, it's like they try to mesh everything into one, and that's why it feels like just so clustered.
It feels ridiculous having back-to-back PLEs like this. I'm not a fan of it. And guess what? What else is this week? It's gonna be
Mask versus Mask.
Mask versus Mask.
Finally, it's gonna be finished.
Well, so put it this way, I'm a little bit more excited for that. And thank God we're gonna have it. Let's talk about that in a bit, but let's keep continuing with some of these comments.
Here goes the Grandes, Dawkins and Ford, and our Priest and Truth still champions.
Yeah, basically.
So they're still champions. The Grandes right now, and this is what let me run it back. This is what I was saying though. They're right now stuck in between Grande Americano versus OG Americano. So Grande has his Americanos.
Los hermanos
Americanos.
That's and the Americanos.
That's why they're into some random, so it's like you're not even focusing right now on your tag team division.
Right now, Division's champion, which doesn't mean shit.
Oh.
And R-Truth and Priest are the champions.
Which doesn't mean shit either.
Look,
it's right about time.
I like Priest and I like Truth. But at the same time, this whole title scene has just been a joke. We don't have too much to feed on. You got rid of a lot of tag teams during the release cuts. What do we have here, man?
Nothing.
We don't have anything. We're never gonna have anything in WWE for quite a while. It's a joke. All right. I don't know. You know, it's just messy right now. It's really fucking weird.
It's wet by time.
Yeah. What else we got?
Nick says, "What's with all this dog walking? Why not catwalk Roman like this, motherfucker?"
Catwalk, man, because we don't like cats. They're over here dog walking instead. I don't know what to tell you, man. What is the difference between a dog walk and a cat walk? Have you seen a cat walk, Nick? There's not that many cats that walk. I mean, there's some, and when they do, yes, it's badass. But I mean, you don't really see that much cat walk. I don't know. I don't know what to tell them there.
Don't they have like a runway that's called the catwalk, so I can see where he's kind of coming with
okay, with that one, yeah, I guess so.
Gilbert, the Usos maybe Danhausen and the supersized clone Corbinhausen eventually.
So that's the talk where yes, Corbin is supposed to come back with this like supersized clone of Corbinhausen or something, and the Usos. So yeah, the Usos could be mixed up in the title scene if we do get the bloodline reuniting again. They want all the gold once again, and yes, they do have to defeat, I guess, the Vision right now.
I think at this point, the Vision is going to surrender the title. I could just see it happening too.
I think the Visions are going to well, the Theory wanted to surrender his title, but Heyman told him no, so they're not going to do that. I do see the Vision eventually losing the title to basically the Street Profits.
I can see that one too.
Street Profits have a little run, and then eventually I do see the Usos going back, grabbing it one more time, running back,
and holding it for 775 days.
Yeah, basically. But it's just not enough tag team. I mean, do we take Danhausen and Corbinhausen serious? It's basically R-Truth and Priest once again.
It's wet by time.
Yeah, look, if you like those gimmicky tag teams, fine, but I'm not really a big fan of that. Like at that point, it's just basically saying that the title scene of the tag
is
team
a joke. It's a joke, and it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like then you're actually adding insult to all the great tag teams that actually came between them.
And
before them. Sorry,
and Gilbert, you said it best. AEW superb, and I'm not saying that like AEW has a better tag team. But yes, they do right now. Whole division is a lot better than it is right now. Like it's hard to debate that. Like their tag team scene is a little messy sometimes, but it's actually really great wrestling.
It's more clear though.
Yeah, it's clear, and we do have a lot of like different tag teams. That go at it. And yes, storyline wise, it doesn't make sense sometimes. But right now, it's on a good level.
Yeah.
Right now, we did have Adam Copeland and Christian beat FTR, and I think it's the first time since 2001 that those guys became champion. So yeah, it's a little messy storyline wise. Sometimes we don't have the proper finish, the proper continuations, but at the same time, we can't disagree that they have some banger ass matches right now. Yeah. So if we like the gimmicky stuff, cool. But to me, that doesn't work. To me, it makes it a joke of a division at this point, which was pretty much what it is. So I guess if you want to make it more of a joke,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Right now, I'm about to read the comment. We want Vince back, right? SG3?
No, fuck that.
Vince knew how to book tag teams.
No, he did not. No. I disagree 100%.
He's doing better than what Triple H is doing right now.
No.
Okay, so you're
2019, they were a good tag team. We had the New Day hold hostage the fucking title scene.
Usos as well during
that time? That's all we did. It had Usos and New Day running back all year round.
And you're okay with having Wepa time?
It doesn't matter.
You're okay with having Wepa time? That's my question to you.
Okay, 2 teams.
You're okay with having Wepa time?
2 teams.
Again,
Two teams.
Usos and
and that's all you wanted to watch.
And what are you going to watch right now? Nothing. Okay.
Good.
I would rather have 2 teams than nothing. That's just me, though.
No. I'm not going to excuse one pile of shit for the other pile of shit. I'm sorry. That's like saying, well, this wasn't pile of shit, wasn't that bad compared to this now. It's still a turd, bro. You can polish a turd, it's still gonna be a turd. It was a turd back then. It's still a turd now, man. It was still a turd back then. I think right now,
this was watchable.
Look, AEW has better products that's more watchable than they did back in 2018, 2019, when Vince was running it. So no, I do not want Vince back. I don't agree. I'm sorry. It wasn't watchable. All right. It just was the same copy and paste matches so many times.
You're doing it right now, and you still complain about it.
I have a right to complain. When I see good product on another platform, I tend to look for that instead. Why can't I look at it that way? Why can't I complain? It's like saying, oh, the good old days. Look, the best era for me in WWE for tag team division was in 01,
Yes.
03, 04,
Yes.
05,
Yes.
06,
Yes.
07,
Yes.
08,
Yes.
09, for God's sakes, when we
Yeah.
had Rated RKO, DX.
Yeah.
We had so many fucking tag teams at that
Spirit
point.
Squad too. Fuck it.
Even the Spirit Squad, man. It was just ridiculous tag team, but it was a lot more better. The issue is, as year went by, Vince just decided that his tag team division didn't need to be great anymore. Because after 2010, 11, 12, 13, it started falling off slowly but surely. All righty. 14 and 15 wasn't bad. You want to know why? They had the Shield and they had the Wyatts. So I'll give them that. They had the New Day. But after 2016, that when we had the peak decline. And ever since then, it just, I don't see it ever becoming as good it was until AEW came back and gave us a better product for the tag team division. Because one thing you can't deny is that they've been on that shit since they came back. I mean, we were just talking about it. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers.
That was amazing.
That was one. And when FDR came into the scene, they basically took over the tag team division, rightfully so. And since then, we've just been having bangers and bangers of different tag teams going at it with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I just don't see that being a better era. I could agree with you if you said 14, 15, and 16. But after that, I just felt like it declined no matter what. I don't. All right, you go on Vince McMahon back.
No.
I don't care, you know.
I was reading this comment.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want him back, go ahead, man. But I don't think I want him back at all.
I just think, and I'll tell you this, I have said before, the company with the better tag team division has the better storyline. Because your tag team division is the one that drives the backbone of the company.
At some point, TNA even had a better tag team division. So it's like, you know, I don't know, man. You think Vince coming back now is going to save the tag team division? Be honest.
No.
So why do we want Vince back?
Because Vince is Vince, man. Why the hell?
Oh, my God. All right. Anyways, keep going.
Wyatt says, thank God this Grande Americano crap, this Grande crap is going to end on Saturday. It's going to be a good day.
Look, so okay, let's talk about that. I'm glad it happened because we did get a little scarce last week when Ludwig Kaiser did get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't sure what was going to happen because at the time the report came out and it sounded pretty bad, but we never got Ludwig Kaiser's side of the story. And when he came out, he told his side. And it looked like everything checked out. It seemed like the charges were pretty much dropped. And it looks like he was able to travel freely at the time because they were talking about canceling the match because if he had to be detained to Florida, I think that's when the incident happened.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to travel to Mexico. Gladly so, I am happy that this went through. All right. We did see him return to AAA Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We did also see OG Grande Americano and Los Americanos face off against the Americanos out there. And we also saw Ludwig Kaiser out there earlier with his mask on, obviously, getting a great crowd reaction by the Hispanic fans.
They welcome him like a hero.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The way AAA represented that whole storyline, especially the ending after the PLE with the comic book thing, and their segments, how they were showing comic books and who's the real one, who's the imposter, all that stuff was a great montage.
Honestly, was.
It reminded me what WWE should strive themselves to be like once again, because they're the ones that had that, like, damn, I can't wait till this match happens.
Yeah.
Like,
this event, this anything.
Like, we make fun of it every single week and we call it crap because it is crap.
It really is crap.
But the way they presented it that night got me a little excited where I'm like, you know what? I'm a little excited to watch this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, it's going to be crazy to see where it makes more sense that the Grande Americano's the imposter, while the OG is supposed to be the good guy and all. But out there, the OG's the bad guy. And while, it's just so ass backwards.
But it's awesome, though. I love it.
Look, man, I want it to end, though. I'm thankfully glad it's
Yeah.
going to end. And I guess we can make a prediction off of this if we want now. I really do think that we're going to get the return to Chad Gable.
Yes.
Because in the end of the day, if you look at AAA, they're going to be like, who's the one that's more over? Who's the one that's going to sell more merch? And that's Ludwig Kaiser, because he speaks Spanish. Now, it's not the best, but he speaks more fluently. And he appeals more to the crowd.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, Chad's going to lose his mask. And obviously, it's good versus bad. You're going to want the good guy going over, and that is Ludwig Kaiser.
I just want one spot, though. I just want the spot where both of them put the little plate in their face and try to give each other a headbutt and just see what happens. That's going to be hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy match, so we'll see how that goes. But I am glad it's going to be over, and I hope we don't see none of this shit on Raw anymore.
No.
We don't need these spots. I'm honestly over this by this weekend. That's it.
Honestly,
I'm done.
It's over.
What else we got?
Jose says, I love your Bret Hart shirt. 4 out of 10. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Best shirt, best shirt ever will be.
4 out of 10.
Hey, man, it's cool. I'll take
it. So I'm guessing you're a Shawn Michaels fan.
I'll be honest, dude. I'm actually a Shawn Michaels fan myself, but I gotta admit, Bret Hart's in-ring work, phenomenal. The fact that he didn't hurt anybody either. So that's why I've always praised Bret for that.
I'm more of a Bret Hart fan, but I don't dislike Shawn. I always liked Shawn from back in the day. As a person, I don't know. I might disagree. But when we're talking about ring work, I do consider Shawn one of the top guys out there. I was always more of a Bret Hart fan, though, and just in general. In his ring, outside the ring,
microphone skills.
Yeah. Some people may say he's bitter, but I just think he's been through a lot, man. I think he has a right to be bitter, dude. Yeah. He's been through a lot of shit. I mean, you look at his career. He lost his brother. He got concussed. He got shitted on by the WWE. He got screwed by Vince. Like,
then later on goes to WCW to try to save his. They're trying to save his.
He's just been through a lot in my eyes. But yeah, regardless, yeah, I still think both men are great. What else we got?
Okay. Nick says Vince is the grandfather of modern day pro wrestling. Fucking
look, what Vince did for WWE I'm never gonna take that away. Look, in the end of the day, I'm not gonna take that away. And what he did for the wrestling scene, I can't argue with that in the end. I really can't. So you're right about that. Like, in the end of the day, he is the guy who you could say he's the grandfather of wrestling. Because to me, there's only a couple of guys that revolutionized the game like that. And
Eric Bischoff's one of them too.
Eric Bischoff? I don't think so, man. I think it's Ted Turner.
Ted Turner with Eric Bischoff, because, yeah.
I think it's Ted Turner, because without Ted Turner, there won't be an Eric Bischoff. Because without Ted Turner, Eric Bischoff couldn't sign all these big wrestlers.
That's true.
So when the man passed away, a lot of people don't realize is that he was a big help to modern day pro wrestling as well.
That's true.
And Ted Turner doesn't get his props like he should be. Like I said, there's only a few promoters that I do put out there. And Vince is one of them, and Ted Turner is the other guy, in my opinion.
I got you.
Yeah, what else we got?
That's why Ric Flair wanted to kick Ludwig's ass.
So I was surprised when I heard Louis got arrested for fighting somebody. Right away, I thought, well, where was Ric Flair at the time? I'm thinking, man, Ric Flair went at it with him or something. Because at that point, man, we heard all about the bad blood and stuff. And I thought, man, Flair finally got his chops in. And he got his ass kicked in the process. I want to be shocked. I'm sure Flair was happy to see that, though, at the time in his mugshot. So, I mean, why not? What else we got?
Nick says, Bret the type of guy to put himself on his Mount Rushmore. Laughing my ass is fucking Nick.
I mean, he's the greatest. He is one of the best. Yeah. I say he should be in the Mount Rushmore.
I think he should.
Yeah, honestly, man. Like I said, people think he's bitter. I don't think he's bitter. I think he has a right to complain. He's been screwed over the most out of any other wrestler. Name me another guy in pro wrestling that got more screwed over than Bret Hart that was on a top level like he was. I'll wait.
Bill Goldberg for his
no, fuck that shit, bro. Bill Goldberg deserves everything he got to him.
He deserved more time in his goodbye speech. He needed 7 months of promos.
Nobody wanted to see his shit. If everybody wanted to see a Bill Goldberg retirement run, You guys need to take
7 months of promos.
you and whoever need to take their eye sockets out, man. Because I didn't want to see that shit. I'd rather just bleach my fucking eyes at that point. What else we got?
Jose, LOL, the 4 out of 10 joke. The 4 out of 10 is a joke. When Brett did a diss on Triple H and his ring work, Brett said as 4 out of 10. I remember that. I remember that. That's a good one. Good little solo. Good little solo one. Okay, cool. That's a good one.
I mean, you ain't wrong. I kind of agree with Brett on that one. So regardless, yeah.
Nick says that doesn't mean he should complain, because it doesn't do any good for him nor anyone else.
And you'd be shocked. This is his way of venting. and at the end of the day, remember, these guys pay the wrestlers to tell them stories and complain.
Yeah.
So he's getting paid no matter what. And when he complains and he wakes and he does something controversial, guess what? He gets more views.
He gets more
money.
Gets
talked about. He gets more interviews.
It's more money.
Right on. I mean, in my opinion, let the man complain. Let the man tell us the stories that we never heard about. What else we got?
Nick says Bill Oldberg.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All righty. So, look, talking about tag team division. All right. It's been a little bit of talks that Enzo Amore was spotted at a training facility of WWE recently. And there's been also talks not too long ago today that he's not accepting any bookings at the Indies currently. So a lot of promoters are expecting him to eventually jump ship back to WWE. Alrighty? And we also know not too long ago that Big Bill from AEW's contract is set to expire. Now, that doesn't mean exactly that Big Bill, or as you guys used to know him as in
Big
WWE,
Cass.
Big Cass is coming back to WWE at all. We have wait to see. But if WWE does try to pursue him and offer him a big contract, I don't see why he wouldn't accept it at that point. Things have changed between the time that they were both in there, where Enzo was a lot more drama back in the day.
There was a ton of drama, dude.
And Big Bill, Big Cass, whatever you guys want to name him, wasn't far off either. You know, he had a lot of drinking problems, and he had the whole issue with Carmella and stuff.
Yeah.
Both men changed. Enzo really changed his life, believe it or not. He's been a little bit more peaceful. He admits that he did wrong. He admits he was young and stupid, and if he had done it all over again, he would change his ways. And I kind of did believe it because he just showed a little bit different maturities the last couple of years. So with that being said, guys, anybody out there want to comment on this? Do you guys want to see you reunited if it was possible? And they do offer Big Cass a big contract. Because honestly, I could see Enzo already set and going for it. And I could see Enzo just being a part of it without Big Cass. I don't think he needs him. I think Enzo does a lot of great mic work that he doesn't really need to wrestle much. He could just be there and just do his thing. You know, we got Danhausen doing his thing. We got R-Truth doing this thing. We could use another comedy gimmick. I don't think anyone's going to get mad. But if Big Cass does get signed, do you guys want to see these reunited?
I do.
Okay, and how does that benefit the tag team division?
A lot, because you're finally going to put more spark on it. You're going to put more eyes to the product. And finally, you're going to see what so many people wanted to see during the 2016, 2017, 2015 run, which was Enzo and Big Cass becoming tag team champions.
And you think...
And if they do it, it's really going to actually like drive more people to the product. And unfortunately, I do see them actually beating Web on time.
Do you really, though, think that they're going to write a good storyline for them?
Of course not.
Okay, so why do you want to see it? I get it. I get the nostalgia appeal, bro. But let's go into the reality appeal, guys. I'm not disagreeing with you. If they do come back and they set it up right, they could have a good run and they could get the crowd invested. And right away with these two guys, they can't do that. They have potential. They have the look. Big Cass is a lot more leaner, bigger. Yeah. Enzo, I'm sure it's a lot more mature, so he won't cause a lot of drama backstage. The issue is we're having shitty storylines. We're having shitty writing. We have not much of competition out there. So is you really that excited? You really think they're going to do well with these guys? I'm actually more like, I have to wait and see.
I hope they do.
I hope, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like, I just think it's more of a gimmick run. It's gonna be hot for a month, and I guarantee we're gonna talk about how they fell off pretty quick. That's what I feel. What else we got?
I
Comments.
just feel like this was going to happen.
Okay.
Before, I feel like they're going to come in. They're going to get a lot of hype. They're going to be over the top.
Mhm.
However, as quickly as they come in, as quickly as they get inserted into the tag team title division, as quickly as they lose it, 3 times, and that's why this thing is going to fall off.
I look, like I said,
That's the one thing I'm gonna just be like, there it was.
Personally, with you, I agree. I think they should win their tag team titles, something that they didn't get a chance to do on the main roster, which I never understood why. They should have had a good run with it. Instead, they broke them up quickly, which I get. You wanted to have Big Cass to be his own type of singles run.
You wanted him to be the next Big Show,
but it didn't benefit anyone. No, it went like shit right away. But now, yes, you have a time to reunite them and run it back once again, win the tag team titles. But I feel like they're just going to use the same gimmick, run it the same way, run it to the ground, and we're going to forget about them in 2 to 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. Watch, within a month they're going to come in, get all the hype, all the nostalgia. You're going to start seeing the kids again with the little hair and the shirts and everything. Then watch, like I said, in a month they're going to be interned into the tag team title division, probably against the Vision, probably against
I don't think the Vision's going to be around.
Probably against Street Profits, and then before you realize it, in 3 times they're going to lose all 3 times, and then right back down it goes.
So you still stand though, saying it's going to be great to bring them back? Is my question then.
At this point, if booked right, yes. If booked right, yes, it will be great. Keyword, I'm just saying though, if. Comment. I just hope they don't shit on them or do anything with them. LOL. I was at Survivor Series live in LA when Enzo snuck in at Survivor Series and snuck in with the crowd and chanted, let him stay.
Yeah, so that's also one thing that I kind of saw at the time that WWE did him wrong was the fact that they fired him over the sexual assault allegation, which was proven not to be true. That they fired him right away without any verdict of guilty or proven innocent, and they let him go really quick. And I remember that incident where he just snuck in and they kicked him out. And yeah, I did remember hearing that the crowd did tell him, let him stay. I didn't know you were there. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly. Enzo snuck in at Survivor Series, which he did correct himself. Yeah, dude, but I'm not excited. I'm sorry, like I'm not excited until I see it to believe it. I'm more of a see it to believe it, guys.
Yeah.
To me, it's like this. If I was Big Bill right now, I would have to really weigh my options. And if I was him as a person, I would have to grab a lot of money. Because when this backfires, your career's done.
Yep.
He's older now. There's not that much chances there. And yes, he's not really doing much in AEW either. But at the same time, it's like you go back to WWE and you go to this run, it's like, what else we got left? You know, if you become once again the joke of the punchline. I don't know, man. You might be more excited than I am, but I'm not. I'm sorry. Like,
if booked right, yes. If not, then it's just a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, well, I just don't think I have that much faith in WWE to do right with this second time around. Crowd's gonna get nostalgic. Crowd's gonna pop. Crowd's gonna do the whole swap type of shit, and and all that poppy gimmick stuff for a bit. And we're gonna keep doing it, but at the end of the day, we're not gonna get anything from it. Like, it's just gonna keep happening. It's just gonna be another gimmicky stuff that WWE loves to have right now. All the gimmicks, but it never changes. There's never storyline. There's never progress. What else we got?
Couple comments. Enzo and Big Cass.
Yes.
Nick says soft. Gilbert says, look at the way WWE has burned almost every wrestler that went to the AEW then came back. Cody being the exception. I will not be shocked when the WWE burns them.
That is my thing. It's just that I don't believe. Look at Rusev. Look at Malachi, aka Aleister Black. Look at Rey Fenix. There's only a couple. Look at, I guess Cody would be one of them. Penta would be another one. Jade Cargill, however you want to see it, Jade is still champion. So she's not fully in a bad position, but fans never got behind her. And I don't think they ever will, unfortunately.
I thought Rhea was champion.
Is she champion again?
When did Jade beat her for the championship?
No. Oh man, I made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Oh damn man, you don't have to go all
I was just confused. I'm like, hold on, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, but regardless, she did win the champion. What I'm saying is,
she won multiple championships.
that's what I'm saying. It's like in the end of the day, she's on top for quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't think she got burned, but also I don't think WWE is putting a lot of basically stock in her. But the thing is, she can't wrestle. And the guys that were good wrestlers, the guys that they should put on a rocket ship, they just don't see too much product. They burn them and they let them go afterwards.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, I think they're just gonna get burned once again. I don't have that much faith in them. I think you have more faith in them than I do. I just really don't. Right away when I read this, I'm like, I had to see it to believe it, but I don't really see it.
I saw both sides of the spectrum where yes, I do see your point, and I do see also Gilbert's point where this can be bad for them because they're gonna burn.
But eventually. You said it will help up the tag team division.
Like I said,
there's no tag team division, bro.
I'm saying it's gonna boost up something that
isn't
there.
Though? Like what? That's the thing. You can't boost anything that isn't there right now.
If it's on the hit rock bottom, you can only go up.
I guess if there's nothing there though to help though, like you only got gimmicky champions right now, and I guess if you want a gimmick fest, sure.
That's Now Jose says, here's what I think will happen. They win the tag team championship to be at the main roster, and then maybe eventually go back to NXT.
That would be funny if they go that honest. I don't know if that meant to be a joke, but I could see that happening where they do go to the main roster and then they send their asses back to NXT. And you can't teach that. Honestly, no. Like, does that sound shocking if that happens?
No.
I don't. And that's the thing too, like in NXT, guys, I don't watch NXT as much. I wish I would if I had more time. I know why it does. What is some good tag teams out in NXT? I feel like they're running short right now too. They probably could benefit from Enzo and Cass being there. Like, if I'm being serious, they would benefit a lot out there because I don't think they have too many tag teams out there to even call up to the main roster right now.
Yeah. So
I don't think it's a bad thing if Big Cass and Enzo just went to NXT right away. Went back there. I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as a potential boost ratings for them. That, let's put it this way. If Enzo and Big Cass get signed, and instead of going to the main roster, they go to NXT, but they become the main players in NXT, and they main event the night on tag team division, boost them up to the next level, where right away you affiliate NXT with Enzo and Big Cass. I don't think that's bad marketing.
No.
I think that's really would work. And then eventually, when the time is right, call them back once again to the main roster with a couple of tag teams with them, and we could have a good run. Because right now, I don't think it's a good time to reunite these guys on the main roster. NXT, though, bring them back there makes more sense right now.
Gilbert says the Lucha Bros were never in WWE until now.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. And that's the thing, too. I guess, okay, so put it this way. I forgot to mention that if we do reunite the Lucha Bros in WWE at some point, where do they land? And I would hope they land in the same brand that Enzo and Cass has, because it makes sense for them to face off. But it's like with all the people you released, the New Days, the Motor City Machine Guns, Ciampa's not there. No. So we have no DIY, you know?
Oh, Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain. And then the Viking Raiders are in fucking AAA. So it's like we're missing a ton of guys that we could have had a good fucking tag team division right now, man.
Great.
With the Street Profits, hell, even with the Vision, you know, it's like there's so much potential and we lost it all at some point. So yeah, I'm not excited. What else we got?
The Wyatt Six.
I forgot about that too.
Wyatt Six.
It's because they weren't doing anything with the Wyatt Six. Like for months, all we had was them come out, face off with the MFTs. They were getting promoted a little bit more harder because they had that Universal Studio ride, but they didn't really do anything with the Y6. They didn't really give them a proper storyline. I guess that's why I forgot about it. They had potential when they came in. I was excited. You were excited. WWE just dropped the ball with them pretty quick too.
I'll go back to saying for them, you should have done a lot more cinematic matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say,
Okay.
Jose says since we're talking about tag team, I hear one side fans are excited about ENC winning the tag team championship, and I hear the other side, these guys are old.
That depends how you want to see it. So either side, you're not wrong. It depends how you see things. You know, if you
For
think,
nostalgia reasons, makes sense.
if you see Adam Copeland and Christian Cage being old, all right, that's your opinion, and I can't say you're not wrong about that. In my eyes, I think it's the right time and the right time and the right day of age that she should be tag team titles. Because so here's the thing: FTR versus Adam Copeland and Christian Cage has been going on for quite a while.
Yes.
Since last year, hell, with the whole Beth Phoenix getting attacked thing. So this storyline has been going for quite a while and has a lot of histories. So it's not like the storyline came out of nowhere and they just gave these old guys a title. They built it up properly and they finally got their win.
Yeah.
And they're finally champions. And they haven't been champions since 2001 together as a team.
Yep.
That's pretty cool to my eyes. All right. That's a pretty good storyline to finish it off. You know, their feuds with FTR. I'm sure FTR is going to try to go for a rematch.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still a good storyline. If you see it badly, that's your opinion. I didn't see anything bad about it.
I'll tell you this. I could see where they're saying that these guys are old, and I can see all that. However, they're not as part-time as some WWE champions are right now.
They do show up constantly.
They do show up. They actually are, whether it's cutting a promo, whether it's actually wrestling. So, yes, I can see they're old, but at the same time, it's like they wanted to just do one more time when they, as themselves, as friends, are tag team champions. It's like, look, dude, we did this 25 years ago. We'll do it one more time. We finally, just can be champions one more time and then just ride off onto the sunset. And I think, honestly, Edge is retiring this year, if I'm not mistaken, or next.
I think it's this year.
So this is the best way to just ride off into the sunset with his best friend.
Yeah, Adam Copeland did say he's going to retire this year, so it's probably going to be in Canada by the end of the year. So that's also another thing. These guys are good wrestlers. These guys still wrestle like they're still young. They're still in great shape. When they cut promos, they're still one of the best in the company. Like, you could even compete with WWE easily. So I think it's the right time. I think it's the right move. I have no disagreement with it. If you do, that's great. I mean, whoever says it on that other side, it could be tribalism too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the whole AEW versus WWE thing plays a factor. That's why I also say tribalism is bad. Watch both products. You benefit that for more. It's more culture. If you're a real wrestling fan, you shouldn't have any tribalism. You should just watch every single company out there. You don't have time always. So yes, one day you may choose more WWE in 1 week than you do in AEW, and that's just fine. But if you acknowledge it, you know that, hey, sometimes I'll rather watch this show here and there. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes it could just be tribalism, and I don't agree with that. But in the end of the day, everybody's right to their opinions. So let's talk about that. We did have Saturday night's main event on Saturday, and then next day we did have Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
So we had two PLEs back to back. So wrestling fans, like I said, true wrestling fans, you watch both. You were happy, right? Or were you? So let's talk about this. Guys on the chat, go ahead, write your stuff because we're going to quickly go through some of these matches. And we want to ask you, what did you think was the better night, Saturday or you thought Sunday? Which one was the better pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you want to call it? Let's go through it real quick and you guys tell me. All righty, let's go to Saturday night's main event and let's go into the results real quick. So overall, I'm going to just be real with you guys. I saw this and I'm not going to lie, I was kind of disappointed in this whole card. I was kind of disappointed in the whole results. It just didn't seem like it was really that great in my opinion. I was happy we didn't get that much commercials. But regardless, 5 matches, and yet they all felt really short. And I feel like we never really got any big decision in the end of the night because everybody still retained. Everybody still kind of went nowhere here. So let's go off for the first match. Jade Cargill, Mitchin, BFAB defeated Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss by pinfall. This match could have been on a SmackDown.
Yeah.
For Saturday night's main event, I guess it was okay as an opener, but honestly, I gave it like a C. And even then, I don't know. It just didn't feel that great. It was nice to see Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa Bliss interact and be all friends in the end. So that was kind of a benefit. But regardless, it wasn't that great. We did have Soruka defeated Becky Lynch by disqualification, which still doesn't give me any proper results.
At least you got a one.
Remember, this was 2 minutes.
Yeah, but at least you got a one.
Yeah, regardless, nothing. Like I said, nothing spectacular. Penta defeated Ethan Page by pinfall in a singles match. I get it. I actually thought, I think we picked Ethan Page. When I saw this, I actually thought Penta was going to win because it just felt like it wasn't Ethan Page night. I think the title should have changed hands. I think they should have given Ethan Page, but I guess they want Penta to run it a little longer, which I understand. The match was okay, but I just didn't find it so exciting. Paige, Brie Bella defeated the Irresistible Force, Lash Legend, and Nia Jax. This match had no reason to be on this card. No reason at all. A filler match. This should have been the start of the Saturday night's main event, not close to the end, the co-main event. Division, Logan Paul and Austin Theory with Paul Heyman defeated the Street Profits. Look, we had Braun Breaker interfere.
The last 2 minutes of that match was amazing.
Amazing somewhat, but at the same time, I just didn't think it was. We should have had new tag team titles, man. Change hands. We should have had something spectacular happen. We had the same old crap.
Yeah.
All this was a filler match. Honestly, all these were filler matches. Let's be real. None of these appealed to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filler matches. I gave this a D minus, and I'm being nice. Like I just didn't think it was great. Alrighty. Let's see real quick these cards before we go into the next one. These comments.
Wyatt's Motor City and New Day to AEW. He says hopefully.
You never know. It could happen. It could really happen. What else we got?
Gilbert says Sunday by far. I didn't watch either, but I heard a lot of praises about AEW. Probably gonna start watching again. Haven't seen since AEW Revolution 23-24. Or was MJ versus Daniel.
Honestly, a lot of fans were more sided with AEW this weekend, and we're gonna read Double or Nothing, and you guys could take your take because honestly, I just did not think Saturday Night Main Event at all appealed to me. It's filler matches. It's ridiculous. 5 matches. And I feel bad for the fans that went in there, attended, and paid good money to see this shit.
Yeah.
I think they got ripped off. What else we got?
Dang, I forgot Saturday main event. Saturday main event was last Saturday. Wow, probably one of the worst Saturday main event cards ever.
It was the worst. It was honestly a filler match, whole type of scene. Let's go into Double or Nothing. And honestly, it was a hell of a show. There was a little bit of controversy, and I'll talk about that. Alrighty, let's go into Divide Dominion. Megan Bang and Lena Cross defeated Zeta Steel and Viva Van. This was the pre-show, by the way, guys. So about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It was supposed to be a squash match, whatever. Death Riders. We got Claudio, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, with Marina Shafir defeating the Ops, Anthony Bowens, Hooks, and Shibata by pinfall. Alrighty, we have the Death Riders versus the Ops right now. All right, the storyline goes because we do have Samoa Joe basically having an issue with Will Ospreay. So this makes sense storyline. I don't think it was a bad match. I thought it was a decent match. I'm not going to say it was a great match either. It was a decent match for what it was. All right, we got Boom and Doom, Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall. the collaboration, Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. I don't understand why they keep giving Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall a spot, but then again, when WWE's bringing out their celebrities, I can't complain either. I'm not a big fan of these Costco guys, but hey, some people are, right? They did beat what's it called? They defeated Shane Taylor's promotion, Shane Taylor, Anthony, Shondine, Bravo, and all these other guys by pinfall. Nothing exciting. I'm not gonna lie. This was an exciting part. This is when it did pick up though. Cage and Co. Christian and Adam Copeland defeated FTR to win their first ever AEW World Tag Team Champion. Thought this was a good moment, a great match. No complaints on my parts. If you guys didn't think they were necessarily should win the titles, that's up to you guys. I have nothing against it, but I thought it was great. Real quick, let's see what else we got in the comments before we go on longer.
We got the Darby MJF match was the perfect example of peak wrestling storytelling. The whole brightest star burns out the fastest thing.
You know what? We're gonna get into that and we're gonna talk about it. Alrighty. So at that point, we also have Takeshita versus Okada. So Takeshita did defeat Okada, but during this match, we also had Kyle Fletcher come out.
Yep.
Attack Takeshita, and at that point, basically everybody turned on Takeshita, so he's out of the Don Callis family, and we're setting up for Kyle Fletcher to be the next feud of Takeshita. I thought this was a great storyline. I thought this was a great ending, and I thought this was the right call, and I'm glad that Takeshita, the future of AEW, finally beat Okada, a legend in the game. Right call, right moment, and I like the fact that they finally kicked them out of the Don Callis family. No complaints. We got Andina that defeated Marina Shafir by pinfall. I did not see this match going any other way. I love Mina, but it made sense for Andina to move on to the women's Owen Hart's Cup quarterfinals. And then Athena definitely holding that title hostage because she's going on for almost longer than Roman Reigns' record.
Actually.
John Moxley defeated Kyle O'Reilly by submission in a no-time limited match for the AEW Continental Championship. Honestly, I didn't see it any other way. Look, when Kyle O'Reilly beat John Moxley that quick in his own submission, and when John Moxley wanted to run it back, I saw an easy win for John Moxley. Match was really good. The ending predictable, and that was one thing I kind of put it down a little bit, is the predictability of this one. So Kyle O'Reilly losing, didn't really shock me. Will Ospreay defeated Samoa Joe by pinfall in the men's Owen Hart quarterfinals. It was a good match. Didn't see it any other way. Honestly, Will Ospreay in this version of him with the Death Riders needs to go on and needs to continue his pursuit to get out there in the title scene once again. So I liked it. I thought it was good. No complaints here. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defeated Bandido. With Swerve Strickland being the heel he is, I think this is the right call. I like Bandido, but again, this is for the men's Owens quarterfinals. Right call, right move. No complaint here. Was a great match too, by the way. Tekla defeated Sheeta, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander at that point to retain the AEW's Women's World Championship in a fatal four-way. Tekla's been doing great work, so I have no complaint about that. Honestly, keep it going. Tekla is one of the best women's wrestlers right now in AEW, so just keep it going, Jericho with the Hurt Syndicate and the Elite with Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. By the way, with MVP, with the Hurt Syndicate, because they along brought out MVP, defeated the Demand, which would be Ricochet, Bishop, Toa, Don Callis families, which consists of Mark Davis, Andrade El Idolo, and the Dogs, Clark Connors, and David Finlay in a Stadium Stampede match. And this lasted about 31 minutes, and this was some controversy here. So this wasn't like your ordinary Stampede match. There was a lot of restriction to this one. Because at the time, the city they're at, they had rules that these guys can't bleed. These guys can't wrestle in the crowd. So they were very limited on what they could do. So in a long time, they had to keep a little bit more censored. So it wasn't like your old matches that you had in the last couple of years. It was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But regardless, right call for the right finish. I did love Jericho's spot that he paid tribute to Sabu during the match where he pointed up in the crowd and then out of nowhere he just took a bump on himself on the table and broke it and then pointed once again up to the crowd once again. Tribute to Sabu. So that was a kind of nice touch. And then the final, MJF did defeated Darby Allin in a title versus hair match for the AEW World Champion. No disagreement here. It was kind of predictable. Yeah. Not gonna lie. Once you saw the hair was gonna be on the line, we knew MJF was gonna win. Great storyline telling.
Yeah.
We also had Mick Foley come out. And earlier in the week, we did get confirmation that he was all elite.
Yep.
We did have a little confrontation between him and MJF, a little back and forth promos. And honestly, Mick Foley still got it, man. On the mic, Mick Foley still could cut some promos against the best of them, man. He holds his own against MJF.
Great.
I like the fact that they mentioned The Rock.
Yeah.
He mentioned The Rock, and right away they booed him and they said fuck TKO as well. So I thought that was just kind of funny. But Mick Foley being all elite, I like it. I think he's going to be more on the pre-shows.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Mick got the job because once he decided to cut ties with WWE, I was just hoping, man, he has to find a job somewhere. You know, he has to get some promotion to get back behind him. And I'm glad AEW picked him up, and I'm glad he's working with them. And during the promo, you saw that he got emotional and be like, man, I didn't realize I felt this way once again being inside of a ring when he was with MJF. It's crazy to see, man, that he's in all elite, but I'm glad. I really am glad. What else we got?
And then Takeshita 2 Death Riders.
Could that be a thing? Yeah, because the Death Riders, well, that depends. If the Death Riders are still beefing with the Ops, I don't see it right away. But the Death Riders still have issues with Don Callis' family, so it all depends, you know. Takeshita should just be a renegade and just do it himself. Take out the Ops one by one. I mean, the Ops. Take out the Death Riders. Take out the Don Callis one by one, and I can see that happening. But between the two shows, I thought Double or Nothing was a lot better.
It was.
I think social media thought Double or Nothing was a lot better. It all depends. If you guys really thought Saturday Night's Main Event was a lot better, go ahead. I mean, no. I just don't think it was necessarily there. Any other comments, man?
Brother. Go.
Yeah, so like anything else you want to add to both pay-per-views? Like,
honestly, WWE's got to step it up because, to quote Dustin Reynolds from a long time ago, he's coming for your ass, and it shows.
So with that being said, honestly, man, it's just crazy to see that next week we have Clash of Champions already happening. It's
serious?
I mean, Clash of Champions, Clash of Italy. But not too long ago afterwards, we do have Night of Champions. That's the one I'm going to say. Night of Champions, and one legend did say that he has some concerns, and that is Devon Dudley that has worked with WWE. And I think he still works with them in the capacity. And we already expressed some concerns that if WWE does travel out there to Saudi Arabia, that he's worried, and should be the wrestlers that are traveling right now, where all the issues going on. But yet Nick Khan did say nothing is going to change, and that all plans going forward, no matter what, we're still going to keep the same. And that's not too far away from now, man. And another thing too, JR has revealed on Grillin' JR podcast that he's currently undergoing medical testing, as his doctor revealed that they are monitoring his possible Alzheimer or dementia going on right now. He quotes, "They're worried about dementia and Alzheimer's." And I'm like, what the hell are you guys going to do about it? They're not a cure, which is not wrong. Unfortunately, there's not a cure for that. Ross said he feels fine right now, but he realized he's getting old, and we're all just wishing for the best for him, man.
Yeah.
So he was in AEW Double or Nothing doing some commentary.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he should be doing commentary anymore.
No.
It just doesn't sound great. It does sound like his health is declining. It's just like, you remember when the King was on commentary for
after the heart attack?
Yeah, for quite a while when his decline years, it just wasn't the same. It sounded kind of like sad to see. And I get it. Some people don't know when to leave the game, but JR, I get it. You know, they're trying to give JR his time a little bit, but it just doesn't sound as great as it was back in the day, man. Unfortunately, you could tell
Same,
that age is getting to him, and I hope that he doesn't have anything bad going
same
forward.
thing.
Because with Alzheimer's or dementia, there's no going back, man.
Nah.
And we saw the King and how he is now, how he interacts with fans. I met him a couple of times now, and he's just very slow. Like you could tell, he wants to like talk to the fans. He wants to interact more, but he can't
Yeah.
physically, unfortunately. And we wish them all the best, both guys, because those were the childhood heroes, you know, of
Yeah.
our time, the voices and all.
Literally.
But regardless, and there's one more thing too. Asuka breaks her silence on her WWE status. I know that she says this. I know there's a ton flying around out there. People are asking, are we ever going to see Asuka wrestle again? Is she going back to Japan? Is she leaving WWE? It was a personal matter. I reached out to WWE. We talked it through. But let's be clear, as you all know from watching my matches, I can still go. I'm still on top of my game. I've been with WWE for 10 years now. It's almost becoming something that was just a given. But remember, nothing lasts forever. Everything is finished. I am still officially with WWE, so there's a chance I might just pop up in front of you when you least expect it, because I am a true pioneer, and there will never be another Asuka. So with that being said, man, that's kind of official, man, that she is not gone, but at the same time, she's just taking care of some stuff.
Yeah.
So there's no more speculation or anything.
Two
We got
comments. Sightings main events equal shit. It seems to me that AEW has more loyalty to their whole operations team than any other brand.
I could agree with that right now, is that AEW does have more loyalty, especially with the wrestlers going on. Tony Khan is very loyal guy. Tony Khan does back up his wrestlers. Tony Guy is a man of the people, and sometimes that could hurt him though.
Mhm.
Sometimes that could just go against them, and sometimes, hey, if you're a wrestler and you really want a company that backs you up in your tough times,
AEW.
AEW, Tony Khan's the guy to go, man. As much shit we give him, man, he is a great promoter. He is a great guy, you know. And I hope eventually WWE. But right now, with all these budget cuts
Vince
and
with
all these,
TKO, they're never gonna do it.
that's the issue, man. That's the unfortunate part. But right now, hey, let's just hope that more better product comes about from both companies, man. Let's all wish them well as we go forward in the future. Guys out there, we thank you for joining us tonight. We thank you for joining our live stream. Please hit the notification button, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Join us next time as we go live. We might do some gaming streams probably tomorrow, and we'll probably go back live on Friday for your predictions of Clash of Italy and any other wrestler talks. Thank you. Till next time. Dig it.
Peace.